Hi everybody, this is NeutrinoParticles Editor tutorial, and this tutorial is for those of you who use Cocos Creator with NeutrinoParticles. And in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use sample effects from NeutrinoParticles Editor in your applications in the Cocos Creator. How to copy those effects, process them, and use in the creator. So I have empty project in the Cocos and the NeutrinoParticles extension connected. You should know how to make that from the previous tutorial. And let's copy some sample effect. I will use 1.0.19 version of the NeutrinoParticles editor. I'm going to open NeutrinoParticles project of the Cocos project. So this is Cocos project folder, and in packages NeutrinoParticles particles and pproj is NeutrinoParticles project. It is empty by default, so let's copy, for example, this fire 01 effect. Ctrl C on the effect, or just copy, and in the target project Ctrl V or paste. We have the same effect, but it is upside down. That's because y-axis in the Cocos looks in the opposite direction. It is upward, and in samples project y-axis is set to be downward. So you need to make a little processing of the effect and just inverse y-axis everywhere where it is used in the effect. So let's start from fire emitter. We have two emitters, fire and sparks, so let's start from fire one. Starting position is good because it is in 0 point, and the movement start velocity is random 3D vector. It's okay. And in forces we have one directed force, one turbulence. Turbulence is okay because it is it's not related to any axis. It goes in all directions. And directed force we have 0 minus 400 0. It looks downward, so I inversed y value to have it upward. And fire particles go well. So let's continue with sparks emitter. And what do we have here? Starting position from point from path, and this path should be mirrored upward. And movement of particles, start velocity, point from path. So it takes point from path relatively to 0 point. So I need to inverse it as well. It's only start velocity, and then in forces, which makes movement of particles. In forces section, we need to inverse y-axis of directed force as well. And turbulence is okay, as in previous emitter. And we have transformed two emitters, and effect looks just fine. Let's save it and export. In the Cocos Creator we have a exported effect by NeutrinoParticles Editor and generated component by NeutrinoParticles extension for Cocos Creator. So I'm going to create new empty node and attach Neutrino Effects Fire1 component to it. And yeah, we have everything okay in the creator. So that's how you should process effects before use them, sample effects before use them in the Cocos Creator. Let's make another one. For example, Sparks Epic. It has a background image, and this background image will not be copied, and it will not be exported as well. So only sparks are important here. But anyway, we need to copy it, paste in our Cocos project, and yeah, we have an existing background picture. In previous scene I'm going to delete it, I don't need it. And yeah, let's transform these particles as we did in previous effect. It has only one emitter, and starting position is point from path, and this path I'm going to put into 0 position. And the movement, what do we have here? Start velocity random vector is okay, and forces, two forces, turbulence and directed force. For turbulence we have scale over particle life, and it is okay because it's only scale, it's not related to any axis. So directed force is also over emitter time, and in this directed force we have y, x and z graph on 0, so it will be x and z component of the directed force 0, and only y component has graph which is between -500 and -200. So I need to inverse y-axis for each key of the graph, double click on the key and change y component of the key. So we have only 3 keys in the graph, and then this graph is looped right, so it is repeated right. And I think that's it. Directed force is changed, so starting position and movement is processed, and everything else is just fine. So let's save it and export. In the Cocos Creator we have a new Sparks Epic effect, but for some reason there are many glitches in Cocos Creator. For some reason I don't have components generated. What you can do in this situation, you can just close Cocos Creator and open it again, and component should be showed here, because actually the component is generated. Sparks Epic, you can see it in the components folder, but for some reason Cocos Creator just didn't pick it up, and it doesn't see new file. So you need just to close, let's save the scene, close the Cocos Creator and open it again. Sometimes it happens, yes. And in components now we have Sparks Epic component, and I'm going to create new empty node and attach Sparks Epic component to this node. And I need to put this node to the bottom side of the screen, and we have Sparks Epic effect playing. I think we need to make scale a little less, and that's it. We have exported, processed and copied and processed two effects and exported it to the Cocos Creator. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for your attention. Bye bye.